That is Love and Death with Chemicals on Yes FM. And speaking of Love and Death, in studio with us is Brian Head Welch and JR of Love and Death, along with Jeff Howe and the rest of the crew, and hanging out, talking about music and everything else that is Love and Death.
And speaking of music, how's the CD been doing between here and Lost?
Good. It had a great start. Very good for our band. Like, we formed it last April.
Wow.
You know, the band name. So it was really good. It debuted okay and are pretty good, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna be a lot of touring this year, so I think it's gonna grow.
All right. Are you happy with it? Is how the outcome of it?
This is my one of my favorite CDs ever in my life, and I've done a lot since '94. So it's everything that I love. The melody is just really melodic. I've never gone into the melody that this album goes into. And so, yeah, I love it. What about you?
Same. I love it. It's awesome.
He's 17, so he's like, it's his first out. Wait, you're spoiled. Your first album's like, you're so pleased with it. So the Lord blesses you.
What are some of the favorite songs for you to play?
Probably Meltdown. I love that song. It's awesome.
Why is that?
I think Brian, he says the same thing, but it has like everything in a song. Like, it's heavy, but it's melodic, and then it also like has this slow breakdown kind of thing. But it's awesome. I love it.
And it's got a great like intense message, and just like, like, get me out of this melt, like I'm gonna lose it, you know? Like all of us do, even Christians, people.
Were there any songs that were like really challenging for you to learn?
JR?
Yeah, JR.
He's like, no.
He's that much of a natural, huh?
He wrote on this album. He wrote some of the music, so it's like some of the riffs I can't even play because they're like, I could probably learn the abandoning riff, but he wrote that riff, that main riff for it.
Nice.
And at first he told me, like, I don't know how to write, and I said, yeah, you do. Go write me something. And he started sending me stuff, and I was like, see?
Wow. He is a natural.
Yeah. Yep.
So when you perform, do you play too then, or do you just concentrate on the singing?
Yeah, I'm not very good at doing two things at once. So I try, but it's like really sloppy. So I tell them to turn up him more.
When you were with Korn, did you do any backups or anything, or any vocals at all?
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit. Okay.
So, and it's easier because I was focusing on the guitar, you know. But I don't know. I'm good with melody and stuff like that, but like timing, you know, like drums and stuff like that, I'm not very good at. So singing and playing and using my hands, it's just like, I don't get it. It's like learning Chinese or something. It's just like way out there.
We got Brian Head Welch and JR from the group Love and Death here, and they are in concert tonight along with 1,000 Foot Crutch, The Wedding, and The Letter Black at the Rocket Bar on Burn Road in Toledo. Doors open at 7 o'clock. We do want to make you aware that the plaza that it is in, definitely not somewhere that we would normally encourage people to go. There are a few other places in this plaza, along with the Rocket Bar, that you definitely want to kind of hide your eyes from. But definitely going to be a great show tonight, and definitely stand behind the show. And looking forward to a great rock and roll show tonight. Now, talking about stuff like that, I mean, you guys going into the dark places where Christians really should be going to proclaim Christ. Any interesting stories that you've had in your time doing this?
Yeah, on tour, I met an awesome girl. She was just funny. She was wild, and she's a big Korn fan. And she hit me up on Facebook, and she said, "Hey, I've been such a Korn fan for so long, and you know, you're coming to Rochester. I'd love to. Is there any way I can meet you? And I got a couple questions about religion and stuff." And I was like, "Cool." So she came in. I met her, and we were all talking to her. She's really wild. I think she had a few drinks and stuff, and. And she asked me, and we were talking, I was like, "So what do you want to ask about God and stuff?" And she goes, "Well," and the first question she asked was like, it was about an extremely graphic sexual act, but she said, "If I have done this, is that a sin? Like, can I, you know, is that too bad for God and stuff?" And what she said was, we were kind of shocked, and we were like, "Ha ha," we started laughing, and I was just like, "Hey, man, all sin Jesus forgives, everything." And so we just hung out some more, and we had to go, and I just put we all got in a football huddle and hugged, and I just prayed that the Lord would just reveal how beautiful that she is to him. And I said, Lord, you forgive every sexual act. You forgive all stuff. And then the next day, she hit me up on Facebook and said, I want this, and what do I got to do? Like, what's the next step I got to do? So I played a song with Korn last summer on stage just randomly, and a girl from that crowd got saved. Her husband was making fun of her, and then he got saved a month later. So I called her up, and I said, hey, I think you will relate to this girl I saw the other night, and she's a Korn fan too, and you're a Korn fan. Why don't you call her up? So she called her up, led her to the Lord, and and the girl said she felt the Holy Spirit, and like it's just so cool because it's like some people would just be because F words coming out of her mouth like every other word, and but I just sat there and hung out with her. She was actually funny and just like a cool person, And so it's just cool. You go into the dark places and you're not afraid of it, and the Lord will do great work.
Wow, that's awesome. So what do you hope to accomplish here in the future? Are you going to continue to, you want to continue to go to places like this? And what do you feel the calling that God has put on you, to the people to reach?
Well, just the stuff that he's doing, like with these stories that I just mentioned. Korn reached out to me to do some shows, and so I'm going to Europe with them, with JR and the other guys in Love and Death, and we're going to play a lot of these metal festivals that Korn's playing. We get open during the day, and then what we're going to see, but maybe we'll do some more stuff with Korn later on next, in the fall or something. We'll see.
How's the relationship with the guys with Korn? Can you kind of share how things were with the band members all throughout when this happened, from when you came to know Christ?
When we started off, everybody was so happy and just like friends, and then we started getting big, and we started kind of drifting apart. And then towards the end of my time with Korn, it was just brutal. It was like all drama. No one liked each other. And so when I left, I was like, later. And so after all these years, though, all those guys have cleaned up their lives. They're happy. They're healthy. They're no drugs. We don't get no alcohol in the riders no more, or they don't. And so it's like a totally new vibe there. And it's God is reconciling and restoring everything in my life this year, and I'm seeing it happen before my eyes, and it's great to see.
Wow. So they're not quite at that point where they've accepted Christ, though, any of them? Or
one of them's a Christian already,
Oh, right.
And I'm not pushing nothing on them. I'm just living my life through them, and they're going to see, I just love them. This is my family, and I'm just, and I just watch God work, I don't want to be that pushy guy because, I'm seeing God just work slowly, and there's no hurry. God's usually, sometimes he just blasts through and does quick things, but a lot of times it's just like gradual, And so I'm just kind of surfing on the Spirit right now, seeing where he takes me.
Cool. Well, shall we check on another song from the CD?
Yeah.
All right. Well, JR, you intrigued me with Meltdown, right?
Yeah.
All right. Let's go ahead and play that one. What's that song about?
I think it's just about having those days where you're just going to lose it. And the bridge part makes me really think about, just calling out to the Lord, and, he'd take me back to that place where we first started of peace, So check it out.
All right. It's Meltdown, Love and Death on Yes FM.